Is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment actually bad? Yeah, so today we will be talking about, is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment actually bad? That's what we'll be discussing today in today's video. So yeah, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment just came out recently and is the newest installment in the Hyrule Warriors games because there is now 3 of them, which is crazy. Which means these games actually do decently well, I guess, for them to make another one. Um, they released the first one back on the Wii U, which was just the regular Hyrule Warriors game, and of course I didn't play it until it got ported over to the Switch, which was the definitive edition, and that was the first type of Warriors game, I guess you could call it, that I've played before, and I actually really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I thought it was really fun. So after Breath of the Wild released, a few years down the line, a few years later, they ended up releasing a type of prequel game to Breath of the Wild, which was Age of Calamity, and that was this right here, which was a Hyrule Warriors type of game, even though it's set in the Breath of the Wild universe, and it's a prequel to it, which takes place 100 years in the past. And even though it's not technically canon to Breath of the Wild, it's not really a prequel because they do change some stuff in the game, and even though they said they weren't going to, they still did, which isn't a bad thing, you know. And so they were going to do the same thing again with Tears of the Kingdom and make a prequel to that, except this time, if you played Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda goes back in time, long time ago, and it's not very explained. It's not explained like at all, like very well, in Tears of the Kingdom, like really what happened, because the story in Tears of the Kingdom is it's good, but it's not very explained very well, and they just didn't touch on it. It's kind of bland in a way, I would say. But that's when they made the second Hyrule Warriors game set in the Breath of the Wild universe, or also the third Hyrule Warriors game, which is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which just released on the Switch 2. And I gotta say, like I said before, I enjoy the Hyrule Warriors games. I enjoy the Warriors style gameplay, the smash and clash type of gameplay. I don't know really what you would call it. I guess you could call it the button mashing game, if you want to call it that, you can. Because with this game, gameplay wise, they kind of change it up a little bit in this one. It's kind of new and refreshing type of gameplay style for these Warriors games, and you know, there's a lot of like different type of combat to this one. And what I mean by that is, you know, you can do different types of moves when you're doing your little button mashing, and there's actually quite a bit of strategy to this game, and quite a bit of strategy to pretty much the entire gameplay, and I honestly really enjoyed and really liked about it. It was kind of new to me, especially going from the original Hyrule Warriors and then also, of course, Age of Calamity, and they kind of stepped it up a little bit with Age of Imprisonment, and I liked. And I'm not gonna sit here and hate on the Hyrule Warriors franchise or any of the Warriors games, because I know quite a bit of people that don't like these games, and quite a bit of people that say they don't like them and they've never even tried them. I never thought I would like them until I played the original when it got ported over to the Switch, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really fun. And so, of course, Age of Calamity came out. Played that, of course. Big Breath of the Wild guy. Also just a big Zelda guy in general. And so I played that, really enjoyed it. Of course, Tears of the Kingdom finally came out, and so for Switch 2's first year, they decided to make another Hyrule Warriors game. Now I got all four games here. I got the complete collection, which is kind of cool. Story-wise, it definitely it touches a lot on the story that we didn't get to see like at all in Tears of the Kingdom, and I thought was a good thing. And man, did they really go into the story with this game. And that's what I like about Zelda games, is the story aspect of these games, because they're these great adventure type of games. And again, like I said, Tears of the Kingdom didn't really touch on the story aspect of things very well and didn't explain things, but this game really does. And with the amount of cutscenes that are in this game, there's a lot of cutscenes, and I wasn't expecting there to be this many cutscenes. The very beginning of the game is just filled with cutscenes, the entire game is, and which isn't a bad thing, but for a Zelda game and for a Hyrule Warriors game, out of all things, there's a lot of cutscenes in this, and it definitely does a good job storytelling for this game, and explaining things, what happened during the events of the past during Tears of the Kingdom. And I really enjoyed the story of it. Now, when they said they were going to stick with the canon for Age of Calamity, and then actually playing the game, and they didn't stick with the canon and they changed things, they stick with the canon in this game, in Age of Imprisonment, and they don't change anything at all. So, story, it's pretty predictable. If you've played Tears of the Kingdom, you know what's going to happen, and so if you play this game, you probably know what's going to happen. So it's pretty predictable story, nothing changes, but there is a lot added to it, and it gives it that the full complete story. And it honestly, in the end, it worked out, and I thought it was honestly really good. I actually finished the game last night. I played it for 2 days. I don't know how long I played it. I probably put in 15 hours into the game to beat it. There's still quite a bit side quests I still gotta do to 100% the game, but that's kind of things I get to do after the game, so it keeps me busy, which I like. And so yeah, so graphics wise in this game, this is the best looking Hyrule Warriors game there is. And it really does utilize the power of the Switch 2's hardware, which is good because we need games that can do that, because the Switch 2 is capable of doing 4K and 120 frames per second, which is crazy to say for a Nintendo console. But Hyrule Warriors games, especially Age of Calamity, they throw in so much stuff into these games where there's just not really room for anything. And of course, Age of Calamity was on the Switch 1, so graphically it was kind of doo-doo. And they throw all these enemies and all these things into the gameplay, and it's just a big mess. And this game, Age of Imprisonment, really does run pretty dang good on the Switch 2. Graphics wise, it looks great. I didn't notice any frame drops at all during my gameplay, which is crazy, because with the amount of stuff that's in this game, especially during the gameplay, there wasn't really anything wrong with it. And thank God, because I'm tired of games running like absolute crap. So yeah, and then of course, gotta talk about the characters in this game. Of course, you have your Zelda, Rauru, Minoru, Sonia, all the characters we really know and got to know in Tears of the Kingdom. But this game adds all of the other characters that weren't really, explained very well in Tears of the Kingdom, which were the other sages, which was the Goron dude, the Rito, the Zora, and the Groove. So they all have voice actors in this game. Quite a bit of characters have voice actors in this game, which I guess you kind of need for all the cutscenes you have. But yeah, so these guys all have their own characters, their own personalities, and I actually really like them all. And of course, you have this new character, which is, if you've seen the trailers, the Mysterious Construct character, which is supposed to be like the hero of this. Him and his Korok little buddy, Calamo, they low-key carried the story in a way. Every cutscene with those two were just so fun to watch and so enjoyable. And I thought Calamo, the Korok, was pretty entertaining, I gotta say. So, yeah, overall, I had a good time playing this game. I had fun. You know, it's a Hyrule Warriors game in the end, so nothing too crazy. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. And so that brings us back to the question: is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment actually bad? And it's not bad at all. If you enjoy Hyrule Warriors games, this is definitely a game to play. But I know a lot of people that don't really care for these games, don't really enjoy them like I do, and that's totally fine. So if you don't enjoy them, you're probably not going to like it. Or if you've never played a Hyrule Warriors game and you own a Switch 2, you can definitely pick this up and try it out. You might like it, you might not. So they're kind of back and forth between people, and that's totally fine. But yeah, it's not a bad game at all. I would honestly give it like an 8.5 out of 10, just because of it's definitely not a perfect game, because I'm never gonna give a 10 out of 10 game for really anything, because there's always gonna be a few flaws. But yeah, that's really all I had to talk about today. And so if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Super easy to do. You just press a button. We have a goal of hitting 500 subscribers, so that helps me out. So yeah,